Welcome back to the DAWGCAST, a podcast for people with the attention span of a dog. I'm your host, American abroad, living in Berlin, Pat Moore, joined as always by my half-German, half-American son, my number one dog, Ozzy, Oscar the Palm. So, Oscar, it's a big week this week. The U.S. election is next Tuesday. And I just wanted to use our platform, our podcast, to take a moment and talk to the people and remind them how important it is to get out and vote.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Who should they get out and vote for?
That's actually not important. The important part is that people are making their voices heard and, engaging in the democratic process.
Okay. But what if their voices are bad or are saying bad stuff? I mean, do we really want those voices heard?
That's not how democracy works. In our system, everyone gets a voice. And there are lots of people who live in places who don't get that privilege. And that's exactly why it's so important that people take advantage of that privilege, make their voices heard, and get out and vote this Tuesday.
Who can people vote for on Tuesday? What are the choices?
Well, there's the Republican candidate, the former president, Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he DM us about coming on the pod? Well, whatever happened with that?
Yeah, that's right. He did. But, he'd already been making the rounds. The whole thing felt a bit saturated, and I just didn't know if it would be good for our brand. So I told him we'd pass this time.
Okay, so Donald Trump is one candidate. Who else can people vote for?
Well, then there's the Democratic candidate, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Got it. So the former president and the current vice president. Who else?
No, that's it. It's former President Trump versus Vice President Harris.
Two choices. Two choices? That's it? The American government has the same amount of choice as a Soviet grocery store? What if you haven't liked either the current or former administration? There's no option for you?
Well, I mean, you could vote for a third-party candidate who aligns more with your values, but the way the system is set up, they can't win, so you'd essentially be throwing away your vote.
Well, then I don't want to vote. It sounds like a corrupt system, and if I participate, then I'm giving it validity, so I think I'm just not going to vote.
Whoa. No. That is wrong. It is so important to engage in the democratic process and to vote. People need to get out there and make their voices heard and vote this coming Tuesday.
You keep saying that, but I don't know. It feels like every time you say it, you act like you don't care, but you do. Like you want them to vote, but for someone specifically.
Okay, fine. They should get out and vote for Kamala Harris. And look, I know she's not great, but that's who our team put forward. And yes, she does feel kind of indistinguishable from an early 2000s Republican candidate, and she boasts about her gun ownership and has taken lots of money from the military-industrial complex and kept nonviolent drug offenders in prison to gain political points and allowed giant tech companies to become monopolies. But the point is that she's never sexually assaulted anyone, and that's where the bar is for U.S. presidency at this point. So that's why people need to get out and vote for Kamala.
See? Was that hard? A little bit of honesty goes a long way. So, since you're living here in Berlin, did you have to mail in your ballot, or how did you do it?
Well, it's a whole thing being abroad. It's complicated. I mean, you can, but the paperwork and I've had a lot going on, stand-up shows, and inflation has also affected postage rates, and the important thing is that everybody else gets out and votes this Tuesday, November 5th. Get out there and vote for whichever Democratic candidate you want.
Wait. So after all that, you didn't vote? What about exercising your democratic privilege?
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's DAWGCAST, a platform that believes you should engage in the democratic process and get out there and vote, unless it's too much trouble. If you're going to be voting on Tuesday, get in the comments and let us know. Why not share this with a friend who's undecided about the podcast? As always, I've been your host, True Blue, Pat Moore Comedy, joined as always by my esteemed co-host and non-eligible voter, Ozzy Oscar the Palm. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.